Buccaneers. We're going to be visiting 3 caverns in Texas, and the first one is Cave Without a Name.
Wait, our first stop and next stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Our first stop is Cave Without a Name. Our next stop is Cave Without a Name. Our last stop is Cave Without a Name. Now we are at Cave Without a Name. Hello, Buccaneers. Today we're visiting Cave Without a Name. And how about the second cave?
Yeah.
Hello, Buccaneers. We are at Boerne, Texas, and today we're checking out Cave Without a Name.
Yeah.
Hello, Buccaneers. We'll be checking out.
We are.
Okay. Hello, Buccaneers. We'll be checking out 3 caverns in Texas, and the first one is Cave Without a Name in the city of Boerne.
One time? Or is it?
Okay, yeah. Hello, Buccaneers. We'll be checking out 3 caverns in Texas, and the first one is Cave Without a Name in Boerne.
Or should we just still?
What is salt? There's I'm not quite sure how deep it is. And where that large window is over there, that would have been the ticket office. And then further back, that would have all been living space. But the original opening is right over here in this. And take a look down, you'll get to see the stairs that you'll be on in just a little bit. Cool. I'll give you guys the regular tour, and then afterwards I'll send them up and we can do some additional shooting.
Whoa.
Wow.
What's this?
The cave that we're going to be in.
It's a natural cave?
Yep, it's a natural cave. But yeah, you can see the stairs down there. And that's where you'll be in just a little bit, and you can feel a
I
little
can't
cool
see
air.
it. Why is it called Cave Without a Name?
Well, that's because the
Can you do it one time? Because he was coughing. Right? Ask the question again.
Why is it called Cave Without a Name?
well, they ran a contest to help name the cave, and a little 9-year-old boy submitted the name Cave Without a Name, but he attached a meaning behind it. He said he felt it was too beautiful to have a name, and I'll let you decide whether or not he was right on that.
What are sinkholes?
You see.
First, we're going to go on this trail.
Or first we'll hike this trail.
First, we're going to hike this trail to see some sinkholes. What are sinkholes? Okay. So sinkhole trail will be to the right.
Oh, yeah.
Where's Nordy? Aww.
Okay. I'm going to bring Nori down later. Oh, here's the sinkhole.
Oh, so like earlier there was a sinkhole. Don't fall.
Chocolate baby. Oh my god, I'm not tired.
This way, I guess.
It kind of.
So there was only one sinkhole?
Yes.
Uh-oh, watch out for
Oh. 2, 3, cheese. Hey, look at me. Cheese.
The one we're deep in. Luckily, I brought my flashlight and my phone. So if this runs out of battery, then I'll use this. But if we go deep enough, then I'll use this, which I'm not going to use right now.
Hello.
Hi.
Feet and 126 stairs doesn't sound too bad until you actually have to climb those stairs and you have to use the bathroom really bad. That gets to be a daunting task. Well, if I haven't already introduced myself to you folks, my name's Jesse. I'm going to be your tour guide for the next hour. It's kind of my job to make sure we get in and out of this cave safely, but we're going to have some fun doing so. Before we can head down, though, I need to cover some rules really quick. Really quick show of hands. How many of you folks have been in caves before? So almost everybody here. Awesome, awesome. So I'm sure you guys are familiar with other show caves and their rules. And some of the same rules, and probably the most important rule for everybody to remember. Please don't touch the walls or the formations because they are still growing. I do like to point out in Texas it is a third-degree felony to touch, take, or break anything from our cave system. So if you like touching things, you probably noticed I just put my hands in my pocket. This is my mechanism to help me from keep touching things down there. In my cave, so no spots to completely bend over, army crawl through. Just a couple of spots to watch your heads.
I'm taller than you.
Yeah, you're almost taller than me. You're getting there. All right. Well, if you folks. First spot for you taller folks to watch your heads is right here.
Except me.
Except for you. And me. And as we're making our way down the stairs, if you folks look to the center and then up, you're going to see the original opening to the cave. This is called a sinkhole. I'll talk a little bit more about this further down.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, you got a chance to look down there? Yeah. Handrail or
also-
lean up against it. We don't want to have any victims of the sinkhole, and I'm going to talk about that as well further on down. But again, just please be careful on the stairs.
You want to take pictures too?
You forgot some of those.
And folks, we are about halfway to our cave system. So that means we're about 40 feet underground right now. And we came down using the stairs, which is kind of the most modern way to get in and out of our cave system. Because before our cave opened in 1939, the only way in and out of our cave system was that sinkhole that you folks passed underneath. Now, the way people or things used to get into the cave when it was just the sinkhole, they had one of three methods. So you either took a rope down here, you took a ladder down here, or you fell into here. Yeah, that sounds pretty scary, right, buddy? Well, they wanted to prevent their livestock from falling in here, the first settlers that moved into the area. Now, you're going to notice back over here behind me, we don't have as much of that discoloration. And part of the reason for that is where you two boys are currently standing, there's actually a ledge right there. We think that's what, are you okay? We think that's what kept the moonshiners confined to ladders. That's how they got in and out of here as well as their product. And for whatever reason, they ended up leaving those ladders in the summer of 1930. At the stalagmite, you're going to see some abrasion marks. And we're pretty sure that's where that rope was tied off to, and it would probably rubbed up against it, causing the marks there. But if we're halfway... And this one, kiddos, the wobbly one. Make sure that you use this one right here. Alright.
This is the stair and a half.
Hey Josh, we're at the bottom.
Stair and a half.
I hear you. Keep going, have fun.
Oh yeah, it is here.
It is. So come on in. We've got plenty of room. We're going to wait here until everybody makes it down. Apparently, Mom and Dad were so long that it's called the summer conquering the mountains. So you can only imagine what type of shenanigans they're up to besides this. Now, folks, I realized all the cool. This spot is the second spot in the cave where we did some blasting. The first spot was. Now, what that means for the kids in 1938, when they got down to the bottom of our stairs over here, they found a foot-thick stone wall that went all the way down to the floor, which means they couldn't go through this area. They had to find a different way in. And if you look right over here to my right, you're going to see that there's a little crawl space right here. And that's where the kids came in. Now, the youngest kid, her name was Mary. She was about 10 years old.
Whoa.
Now, you folks are going to notice in this first room over here, we've got trip people from time to time, especially me, but I spend most of my tours walking backwards like this. So, and then we're going to stop down here at the end by those formations. We're going our owner bought the property in 1998 from the previous cave owner. The previous cave owner was the widow of the original cave owner, Jimmy Horn. They didn't have any kids, so after Jimmy Horn passed away in the late 50s, early 60s, Jolene took over running the cave by herself for a few years, and then she remarried. And her and her second husband ran the cave for decades together. When Jolene passed away in 95, her second husband, Eugene, was running the cave by himself. He started getting failing health, so in right around 98, he sent property that's underground. We technically own that part of their cave system. Now, there's nothing that says that they can't actually drill another opening on their property into the cave. Now, if we do happen to find another opening, the sea that covered Texas was fairly shallow. It was about 20 to 30 feet deep, which is about as high as most of the ceilings throughout our cave system. It was very large, though. Not only did it cover up all of Texas, the only thing that stuck out of the water in Texas was Llano. It actually went all the way up to Canada. And clams and oysters, and as they would decompose on the bottom of pieces. After we had enough sediment pressure and time, that's how the lime or soda, carbonic acid is what gives popper soda its fizziness. And if you boys drink a lot of that and you don't brush your teeth properly, that carbonic acid attaches to the tooth enamel and starts eating in a way it creates a cavity. Same thing happens with limestone. So we call those cave kisses. They're supposed to give you 7 years of good luck. And as you look up here, you can see all those cave kisses just waiting to give you some luck on your tour here. Now what that is this is rainwater that has finally made its way into the cave. And some of this rainwater, it's taken a couple of weeks for it to get down in here. Now, eventually it'll enter the cave and then go through our cave floor and into the aquifer that sits 200 feet below us in Cow Creek Lair. But while it's sitting up here on the on the ceiling here, it's depositing little ringlets of calcite. Calcite is a mineral that creates inflammation. And those little ringlets will gather and gather, and eventually they're going to make really long formations like this in the layer. These long skinny ones we call these soda straws. And that's because those little ringlets make this formation. Now, do you boys like drinking milkshakes at all? All right, so what type of milkshake do you like, sir? Oh, cookies and cream, I heard that's pretty good. Anybody who's ready to like strawberry milkshake? Now, have you ever had a strawberry one that you stuck in your stuff? What happens? You got with minerals that have found a different way out of the clog formation. Look really closely, that top stalactite is actually going back upwards. It uses capillary action to do so. Now, if this soda straw right here is completely clogged up, then the water's going to start going tight to the ceiling, so that's an easy way to remember which one is which. For those of you folks that had a little cave kiss hit you on the top of the head or the shoulders, that's water with minerals in it. Had you not stood there, that mineral would drop down to the very bottom of the floor and start stacking one on top of the other and create these formations coming up from the ground. These are called stalagmites, and we like to say that they I have no idea how to spell stalagmites, even though I've been giving this tour for the last 2 years. Now, if you folks would stand there for about 1,000 years, you'll have a stalactite coming up from the top. I would come down here and check on you periodically. Probably not for a full 1,000 years, though. Lucky folks hang out underneath. That's a great spot to get some cave kisses.
So just before the rainwater comes down from the sinkhole?
We do get some rainwater that will come down through the sinkhole.
It doesn't flood the area.
No, we actually, if we get standing water in that area, we do have a little sump pump there. But we're pretty fortunate. We actually sit up on a hill, so very rarely do we flood to the point where we have to shut down.
Got it.
What did you see over there, kiddo?
Water.
Yeah, we got a little bit of water right there underneath. Now, you're going to see some really cool rimstone ponds. Probably my favorite formation out of all the formations because it is so small.
It's like mud pie.
Looks like a mud pie, kind of.
No, it looks like a pile of melted vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, we call these fried egg formations because it kind of looks like a fried egg. That look really closely. The stuff that looks like the yolk right there, that's actually the tread marks of somebody's shoe, which is why we have the wire around it now.
Mm-hmm.
Now the reason why this one is my favorite formation out of all the ones that we have down, gravel right here, that's the original gravel that was brought down here in 1939. So this is 80 years worth of cave growth I get to show folks every day. I think that's pretty neat. Now I have a piece of gravel over here. This piece of gravel right here is almost, now it can take anywhere between 100 and 1,000 years to get cave formation growth this size. It depends on how much water's coming in, the rate of that water coming in, and the mineral content. But under those terms, this little formation right here, this is actually a pretty fast growing one. And this one is getting its water from these stalactites and soda straws right here.
That one is coming down.
Yeah. And if I stand here long enough, I might get a cave kiss. Now, as we look around this room as well, this stuff is called cave popcorn. And we have a rock up in the gift shop called a popcorn rock. It mimics the formation down here. And your crystals will grow in 2 to 3 weeks compared to 200 to 300 years. Ice cream are pieces of cave popcorn and cave grapes. Well, the sugar cone coming down is a stalactite.
Oh.
Anybody want to take a guess on what flavor of ice cream we have in the cave?
Vanilla?
Nope, it's Rocky Road.
The best.
Now,
Oh, no.
most of my adults prefer saying their cave grapes over here. But right over here on the left side, as you look at it, you can see what looks like a really nice bunch of grapes hanging on it.
There.
And if you want, go ahead, step into that smaller room. You guys
Don't
touch it.
You can get some really good pictures in there as well. My tall folks, though, please don't stand straight up in that room. I've had people almost like, I don't think I'll ever be able to touch it.
And this is it has more.
It does.
How many more hundred years is
that?
Well, we estimate probably anywhere between 50 and like 150 years. A few months ago, I had a gentleman come through with his 5-year-old boy for a tour. And apparently the dad came through when he was about 5 years. You folks said that you were bat curious. We're going to take a look at one of our sleepy inhabitants. I'm not going to put my light directly on him. But right there in between my shadow fingers. That is a tiny little bat right there. Now, how many of you folks saw the 7 bats that we passed in the stairwell? Nobody.
I saw them, yeah.
All right. We do. We give them a key. They check it back in the morning. We've lost a few keys. No, but seriously, they actually use the game kind of like a teenager getting ready for school. But it's kind of cool. They're actually very curious animals, and sometimes in the morning, when they're the most active, they'll actually follow us on tours. Fly, and you pick out different shapes or animals in the clouds.
But I did lay down on a rock.
You've never had a chance to do that? See, the original cave owner, his name was Jimmy Horn, and he was so excited once he had everything set in place to give tours down here, he didn't realize he forgot to name the cave. By this time, the 3 kids who had discovered the cave had moved to Alaska, so he was unable to ask them what they'd want to call it, and what he did instead is he ran a contest. The winner of the contest was a 9-year-old boy, and he suggested that we call this cave without a name, but he attached a meaning behind it. He said he felt it was too beautiful to have a name. I think he was referring to this next room over here.
You have concerts?
We do have concerts down here. In fact, we've got a concert coming up this Saturday, and I'll talk about that a little bit more. And so you miss all the chair formations here, take this pathway to the left. I'll meet you on that backside there.
Wait, hold on, no, stay on there. Should be coming out or?
Like that?
Okay, well, what that one do you have?
Folks, along this foundation's coming down the wall, bacon, and with the light going through it, I think you can understand why you get to see the striations in it. Kind of looks like a piece of streaky bacon. If you want to really a big stalagmite. Yeah, this white one right here is called modern art. Now, the reason why Jimmy Horn named it that was nobody could agree on what it looked like. And it's formations. The lower frequency is going to start feeling pretty. It'd be hard rock, right? 3 tenors. That's coming out this Saturday.
We should do that next time.
Yeah, just check out our Facebook page or our website. We have a concert at least once a month down here. And you can purchase the tickets online through the website. This is probably the most photographed spot for the cave. It's a great place to. I'm more than happy to take those pictures for you. Like the Nightmare Before Christmas, you might see Boogie Boogie. But I think most visitors see the poster often on the water. But you know, I don't think.
This formation looks like a shark.
No, they didn't go.
Isn't that what Jaws is?
Yeah.
Alrighty,
This one looks like Jaws. What was its way?
wait for me right in this area right there where that little ball is. I gotta shut off these lights real quick.
This formation looks like Jaws.
Here, this is what feeds all the lower ponds in this room. This also feeds the uppermost ponds in this lab. And if you folks concentrate in this area right here, you're gonna see on the pond floor there's a little indentation. Now, does one of my boys want to take a guess on how deep this water is? Do you think it comes up to your ankle, your knee, maybe your waist or above? What do you think?
Probably your knees.
So probably about your knees, and you're thinking about 2 feet, which maybe 2 feet would be about knee high on you as well. Now, if we were to pick up either one of the boys actually and drop them in the middle of this water, it would be over their head.
Oh, dang.
In fact, if you dropped me in this water, it would come up to right here underneath my chin on me.
Wow.
Have you been in there?
No. I haven't. But if that looks like he came up to his ankles, so when he approached the apparently didn't tell the cave owner that over and over again. With such few impurities in this water, the light waves have to bounce or refract off the pond floor to come back and hit our eyes, and that's what's creating the optical illusion. These lower ponds over here, these look like they might be really deep, but you're actually getting the reflections off the walls and the ceilings. Those are pretty shallow.
And real, Mullen.
And are you boys ready to touch some cave rocks without getting in trouble? 3 rocks that are...
What, this? I almost slipped. You almost slipped, right?
No, it wasn't.
Cheese and Achilles out. Because they were broken off as they put in the original pathways in the throne room and they're no longer growing. We just kept them as
All feel the same.
that's a little heavy for it. It's closer to 30.
your fingers.
Now go ahead and try to pick up that bigger one. And you can tilt it up on one end as well. About how heavy do you think that one is?
I don't know, 100?
You're pretty close. It's about 150. In fact, kiddo, if you get really close to that, that one's just a little bit smaller than you, but I bet it weighs 3 times your
close?
weight.
Okay, see,
Yeah,
I'll
'cause you look like you might be.
Wanna hold it?
Don't cover it, don't cover it.
I'll hold it.
Stand to the side.
Side?
No, stand to the side.
Next to
Over
it.
here, next to it.
Side?
Hold on to it.
I got it.
Have more pore spaces.
I can
So
at
when
least
we do
move.
restoration work on stalactites, we use the same epoxy that they use in
Oh, don't drop on your
because
foot.
it gets into the pores.
I lifted it up.
Yeah, you did. Congratulations. Under ideal conditions, and that means no droughts, it would have taken at least 150,000 years for this to form. More than likely, it took a lot longer than that, but we'd have to do something that's called radioactive half-life dating to know for sure. Now, when it comes to like the 3 formations down here, watch out trying to bite you. What he is going to try to do, though, he's going to try to trip you. Some people say he doesn't look like a alligator; he looks a little bit more like a hippo. And I had one little girl this spring said that Jeff from the other next room, please stay on the pathway. At the very end of the room, you're going to see some seating space. There's going to be a bench in the wall.
Oh, this one.
Once you get there, just have a seat. Well, he was the crocodile without a name, but I had a little girl this last spring. No, that's actually
The bacon.
almost starts. There's only 7 show caves in Texas. They haven't been developed for cave tour.
Oh, there's a chair.
So up on the left, you're going to see a bench small tour of 3. All 3 of them were friends. They're actually sitting on this little wall over here. And apparently the middle person. And do the kids have light up shoes today?
No.
No.
Nope, I have a
All
flashlight.
right. Well, if you want, you can put your hand in front of your face. I'll ask you to give me a heads up like this when the lights are
It's
all
really
off.
dark.
You can see it. I'm teasing. I won't be able to see anything.
It's gonna be
All right, you guys ready?
She's gonna jump up the heights.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. The right cave system. And Jeff over there, he's going to run out, he's going to trip you, then he's going to run back and start laughing. But we don't want that to happen yet. Now, if you ever wanted to go off and enjoy one of those 7,000 wild caves we have here in Texas, I say go do it. It is a lot of fun. I love caving. And you can go to caves.org. That's the National Speleological Society's website. By going there and clicking on your home state, it'll pull up all your local caving groups or grottos. For you folks coming in from the San Antonio area, the Bear Grotto is going to be your closest caving group. They meet the 2nd and 4th Monday of every month at Chester's Hamburgers, the one on 410 in Nacogdoches. And it's $5 to be a member of lights and headlamps, and this is how you're going to see the cave. And it is so much fun. everybody remember what the 3 kids came down here with as a light source? Now folks, there are no handrails over here on this side.
Has anyone ever tripped and broken a cave formation?
Not that I'm aware of. We have had people trip and...
The reason why Texas has so many caves.
because we have a lot of limestone here. Yeah, wherever you...
Geographically, that's just
Yes,
how it is.
yeah. Places that have a lot of limestone tends to have a lot of cave karst features. This? Well, remember, formation growth from the floor all the way up to the ceiling are called columns. You think this is a formation? Probably not. Alright, so boys, do me a favor. Get really, really close to this. Like, put your cheek on it and look straight up and then tell me what you see.
I see light
Do you know what light that is?
from outside.
It is. It is the outside light. That is what's left of our daylight, hey folks. Now the kids actually made it down to the stream here, and Mary said she wanted to jump in, but her brother stopped her out of it. It's probably a good thing that they did. For my folks in San Antonio, have you ever gone floating down to downstream as well? Now this water here feeds into a shelter cave on somebody else's property. This water here goes into Spring Creek that runs through the subdivision that surrounds us and then feeds into the Guadalupe a few miles down the road. When we do our cave
Hello, Jeff.
don't have to run into the shared formation or space.
Wait, you said we're going to 3? 28 years of good
Yeah, a
luck.
bunch of them coming in over here as well. Well, folks, our
Oh, it's cooler here.
Maybe you check the microphone.
Steps. And it should be fun. For those dubbing.
Watch out for your head.
There's one in this little dome at the bottom of the stairs here. If you look
Wait,
up
where's
in there,
Noe?
you don't see it. And a lot of times they don't point out the bats on the stairwell.
How many bats are in the stairwell?
I conservatively counted 7. There's probably more. That was me not looking very well.
You want to get one at the gift shop?
A pap.
Yeah, I saw somebody take a picture not too long ago of the first area that we went through. They took a picture of it with the lights off. You could see more detail through the camera than you could see just looking up at it. Wow. Yeah, if you folks look up in this area right over here, you're going to see a couple of bats hanging on the ceiling there. And then there's one right there and one over here.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Oh,
if
yeah,
you
let's
go
see.
up the stairs about
We're looking at bats now, huh? Oh, there's one here.
They don't like to be together.
No, they're a non-colonial bat.
See it?
Oh, that one's the best.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Have you ever
I made
made like, have you ever seen?
Yeah, mom with its pup.
There's one really close here.
Where it might be a monarch and its baby, or we had one bat that we called the hospice bat. There was a bat, an elderly bat there.
I'm the first one up. Except they did not open this gate.